So with Transformers Rise of the Beasts right around the corner, what better way to celebrate that than taking a look at a Transformers Rise of the Beasts figure. So this is the mainline Voyager class Optimus Prime, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think this figure is really good and has received a lot of unnecessary hate. Let's take a look at it. First and foremost, let's take a look at the all-important open window packaging. I love that we're learning from our mistakes here, Hasbro. It's wonderful. But, you know, the packaging, honestly, is really cool. I do like it. You got Optimus Prime there on the front. You got him there on the side, Voyager class. You got a wraparound image here. Oh, hey, look, an Autobot insignia. On the top, you got Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And then on the inside, you kind of got some cool hieroglyphs, Decepticon insignias, Autobot insignias, all that good stuff. And then as we come around to the back of the box here, we can see Optimus Prime. We got a pretty cool picture of him in his robot mode, truck mode, that he converts in 20 steps, and that's pretty much it. So let's get, I just hit my ring light. Let's get the figure back out onto the review stand. And so here we have Truck Not Monkey in his truck mode. And I gotta say, it's a really nice truck mode. You know, I have a lot of kind of issues against the truck mode, but that's just because of tolerance controls on my copy. I do like the overall truck mode, however. I think it is actually a really well-designed truck. And, I mean, it is a really, really cool figure. Taking a closer look at the details and whatnot, we can see we've got all the cool, iconic pieces that make Optimus Prime what he is, and it incorporates all the new Rise of the Beast stuff into the design as well. As we can see here, we've got the kind of imprintment of a cattle catcher on the front of the truck. It's not really as in your face as it is in the film, and especially on the new Studio Series toy, which obviously this is a mainline figure. This is, you know, not going to be as detailed as a Studio Series figure, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The original Studio Series Bumblebee movie Prime has got some competition. We're gonna talk about that a little bit in this review, but, you know, setting that off to the side, honestly, truck mode's really nice. I love the pinned-on wheels. You can get some proper Autobots rollout action with this.
Autobots rollout!
Yeah, he rolls with no problem whatsoever. And I think overall the paint applications and everything in truck mode work incredibly nice. I really do think this truck mode does come together fairly well. Obviously, the giant robot mode feet hanging out the back are a bit much. But, I mean, you know, we've had very similar problems with other Optimus Primes in the past. It's not really that big of a concern. But like I said, overall, truck mode's pretty nice. He does come with his iconic blaster that we saw him use in the Bumblebee movie. It's casted in all black, so you see no real paint applications. You can take this and store this in the trailer bed, just like so you can get some rocket-powered Autobots roll out. Quality control. So if we take a look at this side here, I tabbed it into place, but if we take a look, we can see there's a fracture right here on this tab. This tab is just way too tight, and it causes this to break, and I'm probably not going to force this ever again after this review, if I'm going to be quite honest, which kind of annoys me because, I mean, it literally is a brand new figure for me. I mean, it's, you know, and if you take a look at this side too, you can't really see it as well on camera, but in person, it is starting to form some hairline cracks on the panel there, which again is kind of annoying. And then as far as the back of the truck is concerned, this tab doesn't really want to tab into the rest of the truck. So I mean, again, quality control on mine is iffy, but I really do like what they were going for with here in the truck mode. It is really nice. As previously mentioned, this guy gives the Studio Series Bumblebee movie version a little bit of a run for its money, because this is a really good figure, but both of these have quality control issues on my copies. Maybe it's just something with me and Bumblebee versus Primes. I have no clue. I just thought about that for the first time. Anyway, taking a look at the truck modes here, we can definitely see for Optimus being a mainline figure, and priced as a Voyager and classified as a Voyager, he's definitely pretty small. He is definitely a small Voyager in that aspect. But I mean, overall, I think both truck modes look really, really good. I do think that this guy cleans up a little bit better than the Rise of the Beast mainline figure, just as far as the feet go in the back. I mean, there's just no hiding that. Whereas with this guy, they actually put a little bit more engineering, but there's definitely some hollowness that is not as predominant on this version. But, you know, these are definitely two different designs from two different movies, so similar concepts, but at the end of the day, they are different. But I like that. I think they're both cool in their own rights. But robot mode is definitely where the controversy starts. And speaking of robot modes, let's go ahead and get Prime transformed. The transformation is just super simplistic and super satisfying to go through and works really well. And here we have Prime in his robot mode. And honestly, the robot mode is really nice. Now, a lot of issues kind of start here in robot mode because there's a lot of unpainted gray. And I understand that, I definitely do get that. But in hand, it honestly doesn't look bad. But giving you a quick spinaroo of the figure here, we can see there's a lot of nice details presented. And the overall build and aesthetic of the robot mode is really nice. The backpack here is a little bit dumb looking, but it's very minimalistic and stays out the way, so that's nice. But getting the figure straightened out here so we can get a proper look at everything, so we can see all the details up close. Get them all straightened out so you guys can get a good view. Starting off here at the legs, we can see the legs are painted really nicely. Got some blue paint for the toes and on the shins and everything. And the mechanical work there is really nice as well. And then you got a ton of detail on the inside of the leg, which I really do appreciate. It really does help bring the figure to life. But overall, the other mechanical details and whatnot look very nice, especially the abdomen. I really like how all the details came out on the abdomen section here. Looks really nice. Arms been painted in a nice red. And we can see mechanical detail here on the forearm as well. And we can see we got those Autobot insignias from the truck mode, which is really nice. I like the silver here for the visors above the windshields. Those turned out really nice. But the head sculpt, and just giving you a better up-close view of the head sculpt here, honestly, this is just really nice. This is really well done. The silver, the blue, all come together very nicely. All the proportions look spot on, everything else. And on top of that, he has light piping. And as we can see, his eyes are a nice bright blue, and there's no lights going through the back of his eyes. If we come around to the back here, we can see there's his light piping port. But if we turn them back around, they remain a brilliant bright blue. And if you put them under light,
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
so obviously he comes with his ion blaster, which he can hold, and you can get some pretty cool poses with him in. But if you happen to have another certain Studio Series Prime lying around, you might have these bad boys just kind of chilling too. So he can most certainly hold the Energon sword. And we do see in the trailer he is going to have that in the film. And that sword topped off with this design is just really cool. And the posability on this figure allows you to pull him off in some really dynamic and really cool looking poses. So let's get into that real quick. So speaking of posability, the articulation on this figure is honestly pretty good and is near perfect, dare I say, except in one area. The head. The head only has a left and right swivel. It would have been awesome to see some up and down movement there as well, but unfortunately, we don't have that. But full 360 rotation there at the arms. The shoulder pads do have a hinge, so you can articulate those individually, the arms. You got outward movement. You have a bicep swivel, over 90-degree elbow bend. You do have wrist rotation here at the wrist joint. There is a ball joint there, so you do get plenty of movement there. And you do have a waist swivel as well, which is very limited. However, you do have the transformational hinge as well, so you can kind of top that off with the waist joint and get some very natural flowing movement with the figure and pull off some very natural looking poses. Then you do move down to legs, hips, forward and backwards, outward movement, thigh rotation, knee bend a little over 90 degrees, and then you do have your ankle rocker left and right, and then forward and back. Now, as far as the hips go, there is one unique thing. Again, going back to the transformational stuff, the transformational hinge here at the legs does separate, allowing the backward movement at the legs to go a lot further. So naturally, this figure cannot pull off the kneeling stance on his own. He kind of can, but he's leaned back. It's very awkward looking unless you use a transformational hinge, which, in my opinion, looks really, really nice. So, I mean, you pull him off in the kneeling stance, and you work the figure a little bit using some of the other joints, you can get some really, really good poses with this guy that, again, look really natural and really, really good. So, overall, articulation, again, really nice, but has a few areas that I think missed the mark. Now for the comparison of the Bumblebee movie Prime and the Rise of the Beasts Prime. We can definitely see here that the Bumblebee movie Prime definitely has an advantage here because paint applications are really, really nice. The overall proportions are a little bit better than the Rise of the Beast mainline figure, but overall, there are some things that the Bumblebee movie Prime didn't do as well. The head sculpt, for example, while nice and is definitely Optimus Prime, is definitely not as accurate to the Rise of the Beast Prime. And his feet, I know it's a weird focusing point, but I really don't know what the overall design choice was there. But overall, it's a really good figure. If we flip him around to the back here, we can definitely see that the backpack actually looks like it's a part of the figure. There is no real backpack to speak of, but the arm kibble is definitely there, which we do have arm kibble on the Rise of the Beast figure as well, but we definitely see there is more backpack pieces and more kibble that definitely is just not meant to be there by comparison. But overall, I think this conversation will be irrelevant when the new Studio Series version comes out for Rise of the Beast Prime, so you know, there's that as well. So, is this a good figure? Absolutely. Should you pick him up? Probably not. I know that sounds a little bit contradictory, but hear me out. While this is a really good figure, the new Studio Series version of the Rise of the Beast Prime design is going to destroy this figure in the long run. But the problem is trying to track the Studio Series version down because of all the characters you make an exclusive. You make Optimus Prime a Target exclusive and a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So finding the new Studio Series version is going to be an absolute problem, I got a feeling. But if you can't find that version, this is definitely a good filler figure. He's not going to scale as well with your Studio Series figures. He's going to be a little bit smaller. He's going to be a little bit shorter. But I think overall, if push comes to shove and it becomes like a mythical unicorn to find that new Studio Series Prime, this isn't a bad figure to consider at all because he's honestly got a lot of good stuff going for him despite the fact there is kind of a lot of negative stuff being said about him. I get where it's coming from, but if you can set that aside, this is definitely an awesome figure. But that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If so, be sure to leave a like, comment what you think of Prime down in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video from my channel. That's all for me, Champion Productions, signing off.